and that was Clarity in Motion by Connor Sharpe, who we have here on the Big Red Couch today. How are we doing, mate?
Excellent today.
What a freaking change of pace.
I love it. Talk about Clarity in Motion. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, that was amazing. I felt transported. I wanted to listen. I wanted it to keep going.
I also wanted it to keep going. Then I remember we have a job to do.
Yeah.
And speaking of, please tell us about yourself. Who are you? Who are you as an artist? And what did we just listen to?
Excellent. My name is Connor, in case that wasn't clear. So I'm a professional musician and a saxophonist working as a musician across multiple different genres, from jazz to classical to pop to your covers thing to just about everything in between. I work as a saxophone teacher for a couple of different schools and have a little bit of a collection of, it's professional musician, just doing cool things. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And Clarity in Motion. Tell us a bit about it.
Cool. Clarity in Motion started as an idea of a name with a bunch of mates, just sitting around at my house, had a couple drinks, and we're like, hey, Clarity in Motion. And everyone's like, oh, that's a cool name.
Wait, so you said it?
Oh, someone else said it. And I'm like,
did they just say that just out of the blue?
Yoink.
I'm just like, that is mine. Thank you very much.
That's so funny.
And people are like, Connor, if you don't use that as a title for something, I'm going to do it.
And were these muso friends?
Yeah,
or just...
muso mates.
Yeah, cool.
Of course.
A bunch of muso mates just having a bit of a hang, as you would normally do. And then that night, I'd been toying around with a couple of ideas, so all of my music had essentially started with an earworm going, all right, well, this is something I've been toying around with the very beginning, as you heard. And a lot of it just came together, so we decided on the name probably that night, and I wrote that song 3 hours later.
The whole song?
The whole song.
3 hours later?
3 hours later.
Whoa.
It was a late night, but it's one of those, like, bang. I feel inspired.
Yeah,
I feel like we'll see what happens. A lot of it's just like, how do I take this idea that I'm hearing in my noggin and go, how do I make it into something cool? And that was the last of the 9 original compositions that I wrote, and is somewhat the one I'm probably the most proud of.
Yeah.
So you, forgive me if I'm a little, don't know about anything, but so you write every part?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you give it to your friends to play? Or is it more of like a playful sort of experimenting?
A bit of column A, bit of column B. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the melodic lines, so what you would have heard with me on the saxophone, and then you would have heard some of the melodic lines from the guitarist and the pianist, a lot of that was notated, but a lot of the drums and a lot of like the improvised sections treated as a guideline. Mm-hmm. That was essentially what I told them. Like, you don't have to play what's written. This might be my compositions. I might be doing a lot of the stuff that goes into recording, but this is a collaborative project. And if I wanted to hear someone play what's exactly written, I would have just plugged it through a computer. So a lot of it is just like how we adapt and what we did to create something I think quite special. Something that
I think quite special too.
So fun.
You can absolutely hear the passion in it as well.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sure.
That it's funny you mentioned the improv stuff. I'm just like, I love it. I love jazz and jazz adjacent genres for their use of just improv and being so like just upfront and confident about that improv. And you can tell, and it's really good. It works so well together, as you mentioned. Like it's just, it's a guideline. It's there. You can do it. And everyone did, and they did it exactly the way it needed to be.
Absolutely.
Not the way you may not have wanted to see it, but...
Oh, it's definitely not what was written, but that's what makes this so human.
You mentioned, while we were listening to it, the artwork of the album.
Yes.
Please tell us more, because I know you said that there was a bit of a reason to
So
the
cool.
artwork itself.
So I have a friend of a friend. Her name is Jen Spalding. She owns this. Her artist company is called Raw Inc., and she has this condition called synesthesia. And what that is essentially people with synesthesia. How I understand it, I don't have it, so nah.
I wish I had it.
Oh, so cool.
Anyway, carry on.
How they create art is, and in this context, is that they listen to something, and what they see in their head is color, it's shapes, it's this, that, and the other. And what Jen has done is she listened to that Clarity in Motion recording 17,003 times, and to the point where she's like, it's so cool, I never want to hear it again.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So she adapted Clarity in Motion into art form, and that's where the album cover is. That's where it's from, and that's where that's how it came about.
So she listened
So
to it
cool.
and basically went, "This is exactly how I see the song sounding
Yeah.
on a visual sense in her
Absolutely,
artwork,"
yeah.
and it looks awesome. By the way,
Phenomenal.
it's such a like you look at it and you go, "Yeah, sig. I know exactly what's trying to be communicated here."
Yeah.
And it helps evoke emotion when you're listening to the music, when you have something to back that up.
Absolutely.
And it tied into a point we actually had mentioned a little while back to another artist where people just need to put their art up.
Yeah.
Especially for music covers, just put something up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be great. If it embodies the music you're producing and it is there to help enhance that, just put it up.
Similar to what I was saying before about the whole project just being a very collaborative.
Yeah, exactly.
So everyone who was involved, I gave no creative direction to the person who did the album cover because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I wanted to go, hey, the mutual friend of ours, she said, I've got synesthesia. Why would I want to put chains on that? I want that creativity. I want that art to come out in an authentic sort of way so that it's still capturing everyone's unique personality and their take, so to speak, in this particular context.
Well, I think she nailed it.
I think so too.
100%. Just going back to what you said before, you said like you heard the whole thing in your head, right? When you say that, do you hear all of the different parts as the one sound, or do you hear the melody and then later on you build the rest around it?
I build the melody, and I build the melody, and then I go to my guitarist. His name is Royce Jenner. He understands harmony just about better than anyone I know. And I go, hey, Royce, I need some help, mate. And he goes, what do you need? And I'm like, I need you to make this harmonically work. And he goes, I got you. So we sat down, and this is across the whole album, sort of, to an extent. We sat down and we're like, all right, how do you want this to sound? I go, Royce, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just play something, then.
This is your wheelhouse, bro. So
Wow.
Royce is a absolute wizard of a human being, and you heard him on the guitar. Absolutely phenomenal musician, and one of the most lovely human beings, but I refuse to say that to his face.
His ego. Yeah. Is it an ego? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's he's one of the most humble people I know.
Yeah.
He's just awesome, lovely dude. But Royce had a really, really big influence on the harmonic structure of it. I thought of the melodies. My roommate and the drummer on this album, Josh Batka, I went, hey, Josh, how would you do this? And he'd tap his leg and tap his foot like that means anything to me. But I plug in something that I want to hear when I'm writing out, because I'm using a music writing program that has a little bit of like albeit not amazing, but has a little bit of a recording preset, so I can just have a little bit of context that I can put in and just listen to it and repeat listening to it.
Which program, out of curiosity?
MuseScore. Free, baby.
Nice.
Oh, we love free stuff.
Yes, we do.
I love
yeah.
free music writing programs. Just so that I can hear something and just give it a little bit of context. And then, as I was saying before, it's a guideline. I don't actually want to hear exactly what's written on the page because that is automated copy-paste rubbish. It is just something that I can listen to have a little bit of like, all right, this is sort of the idea of, or sort of the atmosphere, or sort of what I want to capture with this particular chart at this particular section. Go play ball, have fun.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool process.
I wanted to go into discussing the production side of things
Sure.
on the. So did you mix and produce it, or
No.
yeah?
No.
When that came time to actually getting it mixed and produced, obviously collaborative with an engineer for it.
Yep.
How did you go taking all this work done in this collaborative process and go to a mix engineer and go, I want you to make this sound good?
Well, the dude who recorded, mixed, mastered is one of the day one kind of guys for me.
Sick.
His name is Daniel Chaplin, and he is doing phenomenal things with himself at the moment. He's one of those, similar to Royce, one of those really lovely human beings, and just driven, ambitious, really, really, he's just killing it. But I approached him with the idea. I'm like, hey, I want to record an album. And he goes, excellent. What's it gonna be like? And I go, I don't know. A lot of like, we might objectively call this jazz, but it's not really what people would envision jazz would be. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. I tell Dan, like, hey, this is what I want to do. Here's the setup. Here's what I want. We go to recording studio. We spend 3 days there. Everyone was fed so well. Steak, pork, absolutely everything. And he was the guy who recorded it. He was the guy who mixed it. He was the guy who mastered it. And for me, it's again the collaboration. Everyone's sort of part of it in a way that makes it, bits and pieces of everyone's unique personality, or how I'm rambling a little bit. Yeah. So Dan's just done a fantastic job from the inception of, hey, I want to do this, to the finished product.
And it's good to hear that the people you surround yourself with, those like-minded individuals, have all taken a hand in assisting with this project.
Absolutely.
And done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Plus also, you mentioned it, giving their own little personality into it as well from day one. And no, it is inspirational as well.
Oh,
you find a lot of artists that they when it comes to mixing and producing it, from my experience and from discussing with other previous artists, that communication barrier is quite tough.
Yeah, for sure.
So to obviously have someone already know what they're kind of getting themselves into and run with it, and you go, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Is good to hear.
It's like I was saying, like all of the people who are part of the project are mates. We're in a way, we're in it together. We're here to have a little bit of fun, make some cool music, and have a little bit of shenanigans and tomfoolery. But, we're just here to make something, I think, really special. Speaking from a selfish point of view, because it is my stuff. But we're all here to make something our own. Yeah.
I think you need to have that confidence in what you produce.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You mentioned, sorry, were you?
I did have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so why the saxophone?
Great question. It was an instrument that I told my folks I'm playing the saxophone. I wish there was more of a story to it, but it could not be more cut and dry than that.
Awesome.
It was, Mum, I'm going to play the saxophone. I'm like, what do you mean? So I went to school, primary school in Toowoomba. And it was a year 4. A lot of people may have gone through the same thing, being at different schools and stuff like that, where in like year 4, year 5, you do this thing called like a immersion program or a band program. Has a little bit of testing to it, going, having a little bit of like an aptitude, like, hey, this kid might be more suited for flute, clarinet, drums. I was one of those obnoxiously like, oh, he can do everything. And I was just like, I'm choosing saxophone, simple as that. And it was one of the two things when I was younger that I was just obsessed with. One of three, sorry. And I just stuck to it. It was the thing that I threw at a wall, stuck to it, and hasn't really fallen down yet. Bloody, how many years later? 16, 17 years later.
Oh, you're doing something right then.
Doing something right, yeah. Making this awesome career out of music. But that's where it started. Like, there wasn't a, why the saxophone? Lisa Simpson. It was a...
That's where mine went to, so sorry about that.
But I love doing that because it's like the universal, like, but it's also just, it could not be a less funny story. It is just, bang, it's this.
And sometimes you just know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meant to be.
But that aptitude test is hilarious. I had the same type of situation. And they're like, this guy should do wind instruments. Give him the trumpet. Yeah. And I went, all right.
Dude, I picked the flute, and then the whole time my teacher was just like, you don't have flute lips.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
And I was like, well, okay, well,
working with,
fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, working with a bunch of.
At least you could sing, you know.
You can sing. You can sing really well.
Oh, stop it, guys.
Working with like kids and talking to like colleagues and music teachers. It's something that is objectively like, you don't have flute lips. Like, yeah, well, you have a weird nose. And I'm just like, no, but it's genuinely like, hey, your mouth just isn't suited for this sort of instrument. It's a weird thing to be like, oh,
It just happens.
It just so happens.
And you mentioned you teach?
Yes, I do.
Yes. How's that experience going from this like experimental stage to coming back to the basics to communicate that to someone?
Oh, I can't communicate this to someone. It is, oh man. But a lot of my teaching comes from how, if you were to do what I do as a professional musician, as someone who's interested and might want to do maybe a little bit of hobby stuff or a little bit of, like I want to do the Amy B exam. I've got opinions about that, but I won't share. I want to do this, that, and the other. I want to do some rock band stuff. How do I, as a teacher, tell a kid, this is what you need to know? And a lot of that starts with foundational stuff, similar to how, like, you can't build a house starting from the roof. Maybe in Minecraft, but not in the real world. So, you know, everything starts from like, I might be coming from a place where my music is experimental, but it's coming from this is where the foundations start. And then these are the steps that you can take.
Do you find it's an easy process?
God, no. Yeah. Absolutely not. Teaching or the...
Teaching,
yeah. Yes and no.
Yeah.
I know that's not a very... I'll elaborate. Each person has a different way of learning.
Yeah.
So I teach at an all-boys school, which makes it very simple because as a generalization, boys have a tendency to be hands-on learners. So explaining things in disgusting detail might not land with boys. So you go, hey, this is where you need to put your finger, press it, blow. And that's how they learn.
Nice.
Hey, look, I appreciate it. I'm very hands-on too.
Yeah. But that's not to say I've taught at a bunch of different schools, both male and female, young kids. Taught adults doing the really like fundamental foundation, beginner level stuff. And a lot of it is, it's a hands-on instrument, so it helps if you're a hands-on learner, but sometimes having that take a second and go, all right, what we're actually doing is this list, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And then sometimes that just helps as a reinforcement sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, I think that about brings us to the end. What can we look forward to coming up? Like, what have you got planned?
Excellent. Well, for me, with my original stuff, I've got another 5 tracks to release.
Oh.
I'll be releasing them a couple months down the line. But I'll be doing a live performance at a venue called Death & Co., which is located in the CBD on the 24th of April, where I'll be doing both of the songs that we've listened to today, Clarity and Motion, and there's other pieces for the good of mankind, and 2 others as well with just about the same band as we recorded with.
That is
Awesome.
exciting to hear.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That
maybe
would
we
be
should maybe we should check that out.
We should check that out, maybe. All right. Well, thank you so much for the discussion. Lovely to hear it. And what you're about to listen to, strap yourselves in. It's a fantastic song. It's For the Good of Mankind by Connor Sharpe.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in.